Let's face it, we'll probably never get a season 4 of Hajime no Ippo. Let me explain why. There are currently a whopping 1,465 chapters across 141 volumes as of August 1st, 2024. The manga has been publishing since February of 1990. Just think about that. A majority of manga readers right now weren't even alive then. Just to put it into perspective, Mashiba vs. Kimura was published in 1996. That was 28 years ago. So Morikawa has been building these characters up for more than 3 decades. Fight after fight after fight. Stories are always most exciting in their initial build-up, when the main character learns the ropes and meets strong opponents for the first time. Then comes the training arc and the big final war where sacrifices are made and the main character either dies or wins and rides into the sunset. But Hajime no Ippo is different. The story could have been finished after Takamura beat Hawk and got the belt. And Ippo could have gone straight for Miyata at the end of season 2 when Kamogawa declined the offer. Either that, or do a quick Southeast Asia swipe and then fight Ricardo after Elf. And yes, Takamura wants to conquer 6 weight classes. I know that. But even that can be done quickly within 100 chapters or less. In terms of plot, this would have been it. But let me tell you something. Hajime no Ippo isn't only about plot building, it's about something else. The characters and how they experience boxing. In a way, Hajime no Ippo is Morikawa's diary. He writes and draws whatever happens to him in real life. That's why he probably doesn't even care that much about an anime adaptation. In the survival match of the Asian Champion saga, he just goes ahead and writes almost 200 chapters of Ippo fighting his way through Southeast Asia. Even among manga readers, those arcs aren't that popular. The only truly crazy part was Sawamura vs. Mashiba. The other fights like Miyata vs. Randy Boy Jr. were cool as well, but we all know they don't measure up to fights like Takamura vs. Hawk. I'm speaking from a pacing perspective. The story is enjoyable, but it doesn't matter when you have to fight through 100 chapters to see your favorite character have a meaningful fight. There are plenty of crazy gems in every arc. But they don't build enough hype for newcomer fans who are used to 12 or 24 episode seasons of new-gen anime. One thing is true though, after chapter 982, where Volk won his world title, the pacing got crazy good. Meaningful battles, story progress, and plenty of character development. Since then, every chapter was gold. What came then? The Bold Retirement Saga. It started in chapter 1210 and has been going on since then. Ippo's retirement is the best thing that happened in the manga to this day. His progress and how he has been interacting with the people around him gave so much insight into him as a boxer and the sport itself. He actually became a confident man who is respected even by someone like Mashiba. Imagine that. It took 30 real-life years for his brother-in-law to respect him. I'll admit that I repeatedly reread his spars with Volk, Mashiba and Sendo more than his fights. They're just that good and technical. Imagine how good we would be eating if the Volk vs. Ippo 2 spar had been animated. But from a plot perspective, there is still a big event that is yet to happen. Yes, you guessed correctly. Ippo's comeback. It will inevitably happen, and compared to how old the manga is, it won't take long. But how would you tell this story from an anime perspective? Do you simply compress the whole Itagaki arc into 10 episodes while Ippo destroys Southeast Asia at the same time? That would be an option. And then 5 episodes dedicated each to Takamura's world title fights. But then you'll get to the inevitable retirement of Ippo and the subsequent fights of Sendo, Mashiba and Ricardo, for example. You just can't compress those. We would be looking at 300 to 400 episodes either way. Which studio would want to take that risk with an anime that hasn't been touched since 2014? Just think about how crazy Mappa was stressed with 23 episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen. Hajime no Ippo would at least need that amount of animation quality for the high-paced fights. So it's not an option, from a revenue and also an effort point of view. A good start would be to do a rerun of the first 3 seasons to get new eyes on the anime, just like which studio is doing with One Piece right now. Will we ever get a season 4? I'm not too sure, but it doesn't matter. The manga is plenty good, and the story gets better with each chapter. The only thing we can do is to talk more about Hajime no Ippo and bring attention to it. So don't forget to comment. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.